Who will bear the brunt of this crackdown? Let's ask Dan Geltrude, author of Positive Financial Karma. Dan, we all try to pay as little as possible. Businesses are no different. Show me the loopholes.
Well, listen, Joe, there's nothing wrong with people wanting to legally pay as little tax as possible. Unfortunately, there are people out there and organizations that are willing to step over that line. And because they do that, and because the IRS has been severely limited with its resources, and that's really where Joe Biden is going here. He's saying, look, 10 years ago, we were auditing almost all of the major corporations out there. Now we're down to only doing about 50%. And the reason for that is that the IRS has about half the amount of revenue agents that they had 10 years ago, and they've lost about 1/3 of their total workforce. So
why is that?
Very difficult.
In cutbacks?
In cutbacks over the years, yes.
All right, so I hear tax cheats, and I'm not sure, Dan, where that exactly came from. But my question about it is this tax evasion? You sort of hinted at it early in your answer there, or is it effective bookkeeping?
Well, look, Joe, things fall into two different buckets here, right? You have people that make mistakes on their returns, or there's legal loopholes. You're not going to jail for those things, but there are people who intentionally do not pay the taxes that they're supposed to. Now, Joe Biden is specifically focusing in on that there's a lot of loopholes that need to be closed. And by doing that, we're going to be able to collect a lot of taxes that are owed the IRS that they're currently not getting.
$7.5 trillion over the next decade. Do you think how do they get to that number? I mean, they must know that's how much they're missing out on, which is the sad thing, right?
They probably got to that number, Joe, by going back historically, because the IRS keeps the records and looks at the percentage of what they're collecting. That's the tax gap that Janet Yellen was making reference to. So they probably took that number and then applied it to the revenue numbers that they're seeing now and saying the shortfall is probably projected at that number, $7.5 trillion over a decade.
All right. He's the author of Positive Financial Karma. We'll get busy collecting that money. Dan Geltrude, it's always good to see you.
Thanks, Joe.
President Biden turns